Welcome back to Aerodynamics. Okay, so many videos that I want to make. I don't even know which one to make next, but here we go. Let's start with this one. A little bit behind on this topic, but it's super important and it's going to start really, we're really going to start seeing what's going to happen with this stuff starting Monday, right? By the time you see this video, I think I'm going to release this video on Sunday. So tomorrow, happy inauguration day, and thoughts go out to on Martin Luther King on his day as well. So anyways, okay, let's move forward here. This is an issue that is super interesting to me for a number of reasons, but let's kind of talk about the really almost extreme language that Trump and his people have been using when it comes to talking about Greenland, Panama, the Panama Canal, Mexico, Canada. Let's see, what else is that? Let's see, the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, Gulf of Mexico, Greenland, Panama Canal, and Canada. Let's touch on these things. The Gulf of Mexico. Trump is basically he just needs to put people on a naming board that agree with him on this, and it's going to be renamed. Or it could be renamed, if he actually moves forward with that. If he wants that to happen, it's going to happen. The Gulf of Mexico will be called the Gulf of America or Gulf of the United States. Not sure which name or what they're going to do with that. But the Gulf of America, he's so silly. But anyways, one of the things that I see that he's trying to do with this is just to kind of put Mexico, just to put them on notice, saying, hey, we are looking at you and we need you to start cleaning up your act. And this is one of the things that he's just kind of using to needle them, right? It can be done. There's nothing stopping Trump from doing it. So it may actually happen. And it doesn't result in any negative things for anybody. It's just, should he? I don't know. It's been the Gulf of Mexico for so long. But will he? Maybe. Could he? Definitely. If he really wanted to, he can do it. Does that mean Mexico's going to call it the Gulf of America? No, they'll probably call it whatever they want to call it. And Central America can call it whatever they want to call it. Europe can call it whatever they want to call it. Canada can call it whatever they want to call it. We are going to call it the Gulf of America or Gulf of the United States, whatever it ends up being, right? That seems to be the direction, that they're going to go. Do I think it's going to happen? I think it's possible. Possible. Is it highly likely? Maybe not highly likely. Anyways, moving on. That's the Gulf of Mexico. It's not a big deal either way. Greenland. Trump is trying to buy or negotiate with Denmark to get Greenland. This has been done many times throughout our history. We've tried to get Greenland. We've tried to acquire it, typically by offering to purchase it. Denmark has not been interested in selling it. So it's not new and it's not shocking. He's not sending military into Greenland and taking it by force. Will he? He hasn't said no, but I highly doubt that's what he's trying to do. I highly doubt he's trying to be provocative to all of Europe and take Greenland by force. Not just Europe. I'm sure we would have Canada would be really mad at us. Probably Mexico. I don't know who else. Russia might. China might. We don't. Stupid fly. We don't need to do that, right? We can offer to buy it. We can put pressure. He was talking about tariffs. Tariffs are a possibility. We can get the people of Greenland to put pressure because it does seem like maybe some of the people of Greenland would like for this change to happen. Is it a majority? I don't know. It's a very small population, so it's possible. But yeah, it should be a thing that he is trying to do. And he is trying to do it for a number of reasons. One, to expand our territory. Two, for their resources, minerals and the like. Three, for strategic importance. right? So, maybe he wants to put a military base there. He wants to make sure we hold those shipping lanes, those sorts of things. Now, keep in mind, all of that could be done, well, other than the expanding territory. All of that could be done without actually taking Greenland. Maybe we could just negotiate with Denmark to have more of a presence in Greenland. They would continue to hold it, but maybe we would build military bases there. Maybe we would be able to have access to the resources there. Who knows? So he doesn't need to physically take it. He could just negotiate with Denmark and then, come to some terms, right? Is it possible that we take it? It's possible. Is that likely? Much less likely than the Gulf of Mexico thing. But it's possible. We want to do it. We've wanted to do it for a long time. We've never succeeded, so we'll see. All right. Is there anything else in here I wanted to touch on? I did. I talked about all that. Okay. Panama Canal is a touchier subject. Pretty much all the same things apply to the Panama Canal that apply to Greenland. Other than, yes, it's more of an option to use military force on the Panama Canal. I hope they don't. I hope they don't need to. But basically, we're putting pressure on Panama to have China be removed from the Panama Canal. China should not be operating the Panama Canal and should not be in control of that situation. We did build it. We did sell it to them for almost nothing. And we should have preferential treatment. We should be able to use the Panama Canal as we see fit. And having one of our quote unquote enemies running it is not a good thing, right? So I could see the possibility of him sending in military force if need be, but I really, really, really hope that's not what happens. But basically, we could buy it. We could negotiate with Panama. Those are both on the table. We shouldn't have to buy it because we sold it to them for like $1, but dollar's worth more these days. Hey, maybe we'd pay them, $100, $1,000. Well, we'd probably have to spend millions of dollars to buy it back, of course. Thanks, Jimmy Carter. Miss you, buddy. Sorry you passed away. That's unfortunate. I didn't do a video on that, right? I don't think so. Maybe I should do a video talking about Jimmy Carter. Maybe I'll come back to that. But yeah, this was one of the things of his presidency that makes his presidency not seen fondly. He was a great person, seemed like a great person anyways. But selling the Panama Canal was not a good move. All right, moving on. Canada. Canada. We're not sending military force into Canada. We're not taking Canada. We're not taking over Canada. We are going to put huge pressure on them to secure the border. We're going to put huge pressure on them to make sure that drugs are not coming across their border, that traffickers are not coming across their border, that terrorists are not coming across their border. And we are encouraging them to do this through financial means, possibly tariffs, or other methods. We will not be going in there with military force. We do not really want to take them over as a 51st state. I will be talking about that here in this video. I do want to kind of go over that before I close out. But in general, if we did absorb Canada in full, in totality, into the United States, it would have to be more than one state. It would definitely be multiple states. The number is really hypothetical at this point. Some people in Canada would like us to do that, but I highly doubt it's a majority, or a large minority even. It's probably a small minority of people want us to take it over. However, good news, the pressure, even though Trump is not in office yet, the pressure is already on, and Trudeau is going to be stepping down, which is a huge win for Canada, and it's a huge win for us. before I move on to the overarching thing of this. See, the goal was to get Trudeau to resign, and that he was successful in that. We want a better negotiating partner up there. If it ends up being that quote unquote conservative guy, was it Pierre something? Anyways, great. We would just like a better negotiating partner, and we would like the people of Canada to not be oppressed like they were under Trudeau. So hopefully that happens. All right, the bigger picture, the bigger idea is something that is not going to happen. But let's say it did. Again, this is a hypothetical, kind of something that I've talked about previously that I do still want to talk about more, which is the civil separation of the United States. Instead of a civil separation of the United States, and definitely not a civil war, we do not want a civil war, we could realign the entirety of North America. So, or maybe even some of South America. Afuera! All right, so the North American realignment is what I'm kind of calling this. In place of the civil separation. So there are parts of Canada that have far more in common with the mindset of America at this point in time, where we are looking more at freedom, we're looking more at liberty. We do want to have more of a capitalist society. We do want to have a society where individual freedoms matter more than the group rights. Those sorts of things that we have moved greatly towards ever since the landslide election win for Trump. There are places in Canada that definitely are more aligned to that, right? Then there are places in the United States that are far more in line with Trudeau and Canada's thought process, right? High levels of government involvement in your lives, centralized power, more socialized as opposed to capitalistic, that sort of thing, right? So we could see a situation where we say, all right, let's just realign our borders, right? Let's say, hopefully not all of California. I'm here in California. So I would like for the Central Valley to remain a part of the United States of America. But hey, maybe maybe the Pacific coastline or much of the Pacific coastline could be annexed into Canada, all the way up through Oregon and Washington into Canada, right? And then we take portions of the central area of Canada that are more aligned with us, different aspects of Canada that would be more in line with us. We could realign the borders, send New York on up there, possibly Philadelphia. Again, doesn't have to be the entire state, but a lot of the, upper and northeast could be realigned into Canada. Those sorts of things. And then you could realign the United States to include those sorts of things. We could include Greenland into the United States. Hopefully we can keep Alaska, but maybe figure out some things there to connect some things. But, I don't know that that's necessary. But you could figure out a way. I don't know. But, even if parts of our country aren't attached, it can still be one country. It can. It's just better if it's connected. But Greenland wouldn't be connected. Obviously, it's a giant island. So there you go. And then, Alaska is off to the side there, and Hawaii is off. But Hawaii would probably get absorbed into Canada. Miss you, Hawaii. Maybe figure out, does Mexico want to be involved? Do they want to connect it all the way down and just have the Mexico-Canada Western United States country? Maybe, I don't know, but a realignment of North America to have it be more ideologically aligned, and have the United States be strengthened by bringing in all of these freedom-minded sections or portions of Canada and Greenland and that sort of thing. Realign the number of states or realign the states. Greenland could become a state. If Puerto Rico wants to become a state in the United States, it could. If Puerto Rico wants to become part of Canada, it could. The different Caribbean islands, Cuba. I mean, does Trudeau want his homeland back? Those sorts of things, right? Realign all of that. Figure out where Mexico's going to go. I mean, they can keep their own sovereignty. They don't have to. This is just a hypothetical thing, right? Down into Central America, does Mexico and portions of Central America want to be attached? What I'd like to see is the United States be the United States, Alaska, Greenland, Panama Canal or Panama, right? Maybe hold on to Puerto Rico, hold on to Hawaii. That would be amazing. And just have the United States, at least like all of our, various borders and, the outlying areas of the United States be defended by the United States. And we can basically say, you guys can do whatever you want there in your new Northern Canada, North America union that you guys got going on there. But we're the United States, and we're going to be defending the Western Hemisphere. And we're going to be defending the United States' entire borders, right? That sort of thing. I think that would be that's a fun thought experiment there. Could we see a huge push towards freedom, push back towards the Constitution, that sort of thing? That would be amazing to me. Let's see. That's pretty much what I talked about here. I like that. I like that idea. Let me know what you guys think as far as that concept, right? Okay. There's other stuff in this post, but it has nothing to do with this, and I should probably do that as a separate video. All right, everybody, what do you think? Let me know. It's good to be back. Take care, everybody. Afuera! Have a good day.